Yes. So this, what we're doing right now, including the microphones, is something that we intend to do into the future as well, because we're going to have some interesting things happening. So I'll just give you everyone a little intro to it. Okay. So the first thing, we now have a job system. So everybody here has some task that you're working on. Like Billy is working on the simulation, making sure that it works. Josh and I are working on the AI, and we're going to work on some other things as well very soon. And everybody has a certain set of tasks that you're working on. And so now we've created a space where you can essentially define the task that you want to work on. There's some tasks already defined. I just wanted to do so as a little introduction for how you guys can do it yourself. So let's say we have to do research on where the electrodes are going to be placed. You can see in the Notion here, it's been set as a task. Currently, it's an upcoming task. If someone is going to assign themselves to it, it's going to become an in-progress task, and then you can start working on it both on your own time and, of course, in the sessions. We have some other tasks that are going on, and essentially, throughout this session, my hope would be that everybody looks at this jobs page and asks themselves, am I already working on some task that's been defined here? Or if I don't have anything that's really fitting with my role, can I create it for myself so that other people are aware of what I'm doing and they can possibly help me? So the point here is so that everyone has transparency about what you're working on, so that both other people can help you, and of course, you can keep yourself accountable and clear as to what you're doing, both to yourself and to others. Okay, so you can, of course, assign people. We already have everyone from Artemis added here. Yep. And there's some additional functionalities which you can figure out as you go along. Okay, so that's the jobs. Just wanted to give you a little bit of an intro to that. Let's go back to presentation. So that's the job system. Second thing, I think this is going to be quite fun for you. This, not an actual link, but there is going to be a real YouTube channel for RoboSock, which we're going to be posting things to. And this, what we're doing right now with those microphones that I'm using, is a way to demonstrate how it's going to work both now and in the future. So we've currently messaged quite a few different professors, researchers all around the university who are working in graphene, who are working on C++ and integrating neuroscience, exactly, and integrating all of the different kinds of technologies that we're working with into our project. And we're going to have people come along, and hopefully we should strap them to one of those mics, record it, so that everyone can benefit from the research, the kinds of projects that we're doing here. And of course, if you come late to a session, you can always look back at it and see what is this research sharing with us, what kinds of insights could they add to my work which I'm doing already. Okay, so there's going to be a channel which we're going to link to you guys. Of course, we're going to be posting things, hopefully, assuming this works, because this is basically a test recording. If this works, we're also going to post this. Okay?
Big if.
Yeah. I mean, from my experience of
the podcast,
I also ran the podcast with Dylan. We were trying out the recording, and it turned out that the sound was basically like a mouse whispering. But anyway, I wanted to show you something cool that we've been doing already, at least on the software side. So one little achievement, you could call it, and that's from Billy. You can see, so Billy is moving around his hand, is basically changing his gestures, and in doing so, he's changing the position of the actual drone. It's a little bit small. Maybe I can make it a little bit bigger for you guys. Yeah. So see, it's going down when he's doing the closed fist. So anyway, the idea here is we try it out in the simulator. Once we have the risk assessment done, hopefully we should be able to do that in RL, as they say. So let's do the second point that we've already done. model that we've been working on, the EMG model with Dylan. Yesterday, we were struggling with that for quite some time. We finally got the chance to increase its accuracy from 78% to 96%, which is good, very good. On 2 gestures, less.
Yeah, I mean, on 2 gestures, yeah, on a 0.1 second, no, sorry, 0.01 second kind of loop, right? So, like, it would be seamless control with the drone. Like, 4% of 0.01 seconds is like negligible, basically. We'd be aiming for like 80 to 90 with the 9 gestures. We'll just see how the EMG collection goes today, basically.
Yes, and that's what we're going to cover in just a second. Yes, so what do we do now on the software side? There's a few different things. As I mentioned in the jobs board, there's already tasks that we can be doing. And these are some of them. Some of them are marked as kind of in the future. Some of them are marked for right now. We have to finalize the fully functioning gesture-based AI system. So that's what we're going to try to integrate with the simulator today. And hopefully we're going to see some progress there. We're also beginning to think about how we could actually integrate the EMG with a computer or phone. So we've been talking about that just a second ago. I wrote C++ ? But I'm no expert at this, so it could be another technology as well. Yes, so that's the software end. Then on the hardware end, that's something I'm a little bit less familiar with. Therefore, the jobs board, it would be great to have more transparency what's going on. But there's a few clear ideas for what we're doing. The first one is we're actually building out PCBs, from schematics.
Yeah, so there's virtual testing, which you guys have done now, right? And so now we want to do physical testing, probably with a breadboard first, because we have access to a whole bunch of components downstairs. So once we have the idea of what the circuit's going to look like, we'll take it downstairs, throw the pieces together, do some testing with that, hopefully today maybe. And then if that works out, I think you guys said you need to do a little bit more calculations in Altium, right? Depending on... But then we should be able to take that to the PCB lab, and if we know that, they'll help us pick out the components that are the right size effectively, what we've got, and then we should be able to print out 8, 10 PCBs and assemble. Well, we can start by just doing one because I think it's going to be quite bulky with the electrodes we currently have, but we should be able to cobble something together within the next kind of 2 weeks that would function, and hopefully have some sort of prototype before the Christmas holidays. If that happens, we've absolutely killed it this year. Next semester will go absolutely crazy, and yeah, hopefully we can leverage that. I mean, EMG is cool. EEG, which is where you use a headset and use brain activity, is also really cool. If we can leverage the fact that we've built an EMG ourselves, we can probably use that to message a bunch of companies over the Christmas period and be like, please give us a headset for free.
Oh yeah. oh yes, that's something that, as a person doing psychology, I would just absolutely love to see.
There is a scheme somewhere that I've got an eye on, basically. I'm waiting for a reply back from them.
Okay, good.
I have a question. Now you guys have been developing the algorithms for handling.
Yeah.
Is it easy to transition into the EMG?
We've already began to do that to some extent. Yeah.
The whole point of the way we're building it is, so far, it's just gesture recognition.
Yeah.
So it's an index. It's in a list. It is one is open hand. So we use the same set. We just assign the same thresholds. The actual control system will work exactly the same.
Okay.
The best part about it is we can switch to literally any gestures. As long as we collect the data on it, we can train any model, any gestures, and the control system will function the same.
Just a CSV file listing where the gestures are located.
Beautiful code. It's very modular. I'm loving it. I'm just like, my coder sense is tingling right now. Yes. So
psychologist.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. So the first thing that we were thinking is actually use the schematics, but we already talked about that. And then later on, we're thinking of possibly integrating it with graphene. That's something that's coming up because we've got a few professors that seem to be interested in joining us for the project at some point.
How would you integrate it with graphene?
Well, that's what we're about to find out, right? I'm not a graphene expert by no means, so forgive me.
Some, I don't know if we can record this part. We may have access, hypothetically, possibly, if we get approval, to some...
Oh, this is NDA.
No, none of this is NDA. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that I have access to some graphene ink from the graphene hackathon last year. So in theory, we get some graphene ink and just paint them onto the electrodes for now.
Yep.
And then we can prove whether graphene is suitable and compatible and doesn't like muffle the signal reception, basically. And we can just throw it straight onto these ones, which is what we're going to use for the first prototype anyway. Then hopefully we get in contact with these professors and make something better than these, because these suck. They're not reusable.
Yep.
Yeah.
What is the benefit of using graphene?
There's a £50,000 grant that we could possibly get access to. Also, it gives us more flexibility with redesigning these. There's an idea I have in mind. I've seen one research paper on it, but then I didn't read it. So, a little bit more research to be done. But yeah.
You read the abstract.
Yeah, no, I read
the title. Let's face it.
That was the title. There was a cool picture. I was like, oh, that's the thing. Cool. Anyway,
Said graphene in the title. It means it must be useful. So then we're also thinking of making an actual presentable sleeve / casing that we can actually make so that a user would be able to put it on without error.
the first prototype will be quite big, so we're going to style it after Batman because might as well make it look cool.
Yes. So we're going to try something like that. All right. So today, I see that it was 1, 3, and 2. That's okay. It's a presentation made on the go. Yes. So today we're going to do a little bit of data collection. So expect that from probably myself and Dylan.
It should take about 10 minutes per person.
Yeah. It's not a long time. And as we were talking about here, we've got a grant that we're considering getting.
Last year, 3 people applied for this grant. So the first place got 50,000, and second and third place both got 20,000. Competition is not too crazy, and it's more about commercializing graphene, not about being super graphene crazy. Not that there are many super graphene crazy things going on anyway.
Yes.
So we stand a really good chance of applying for this.
Yes. So that's one thing. Also, another thing that I just reminded myself of, and there is a graphene hackathon. So we might be putting ourselves forward for that at some point.
And Imperial College London have a neurotechnology society who are putting on a neurotechnology hackathon in combination with Entrepreneurs First, which is like a massive entrepreneur network in London, basically. So that's, I think it's January 25th, which is a Saturday until Sunday. Teams of, I think, 2 to 5 people. And I spoke to the guy who's running it, basically. So we may send like a little delegation down to do some serious fucking around and finding out. Because I don't know what resources, what constraints we have. I've asked for some more information, but if we can just take the research we've already done here and just use it on the day, we'll crush people. So.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's it.
When is it? Or where? The graphene hackathon.
That was last year.
There was one last year that ran.
There's one this year as well.
Last weekend of uni this semester. Hugh, do you know when it is this year?
No, I don't. I'm going to have to ask Sunil, the guy who told me about it, for reference. Okay, that's it.
Yeah.